Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to day 37 in week 8 of commercial diving school. In this video, I'm going to be going over how our dive day went today. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, leave a like if you enjoyed, and leave any comments or questions down below. So for today, it was a diving day. So we had 3 groups go today. We had 1 group go in the morning, and then after lunch, we had the other 2 groups go. Not everybody got to dive today. We went through about 2/3 of the class, and then the rest of everybody else is gonna go tomorrow. I didn't get to dive today. I'm gonna be part of that group that gets to go tomorrow. So basically, how today went was we came up with a company name, and we had been hired by a client to observe and take measurements and basically let them know what this structure was that they wanted us to go and look at. So basically we take dimensions, so how long is it, how deep is it in the water, what does it look like, things like barnacles, like how much barnacle coverage is on it. Just basically as much information as we can give. Like if we think, oh, we can say how many like handles are on it or something. And in this case, we were looking at a boat underwater. It's a boat that the school sunk like on purpose. It's basically just like a little fishing boat, so it's not very big, but I think they filled like it with cement so that it sunk to the bottom. And then there's kind of like a little barge that's it's kind of like, I think like 8 feet long or something like that. It's just a rectangle like made out of metal that they sunk down there, and then that's something else that we can take measurements on and stuff like that. So the purpose of this is just to learn about non-destructive testing, and to be able to go down and look at something and figure out, basically give observations of it. So basically we got our divers in the water. Each diver was in a part of their own group. So our group, we had our diver in the water, we had a tender for our group tending, and then we had a person on comms in our group, working together. And then the other members of the group would say if the tender needed a break, we would switch out. And then after lunch, the other diver in our group, we would switch the divers out. And then somebody else would get to be on comm, somebody else would tend after that. So everybody kind of gets a turn. So that was pretty much how today went. One interesting thing we got to do today was that we got to hook up a camera. So basically on one of the hats, on the hats there's a handle up top. So what you can do is you can strap a light on it. So what we did was we used a hose clamp, and basically hose clamped a camera and a light. They're both basically like tubes about that long, and you connect them to a monitor, and you can actually up top side, they actually manipulate the light, so they can turn your light on, they can turn it off. I was told the light helps a little bit sometimes, like when the water is a little bit more clear, they can see a lot better with the light. But if the water isn't clear, it's basically like shining a light at a wall. Like you can't really see anything because the light is getting captured on all the dirt, and instead of being able to see far. So the light isn't always helpful, but it was kind of cool to get that experience, setting up the camera and the light system. So now that we know when we go to a job in the future, we can rig up a light or a camera, because companies have lights and cameras on their hats, so that the client can verify, okay, he did the job. I can see it right there. It's recorded on camera. I know that, I don't have to jump in the water and throw some goggles on and go look at the underside of my boat myself. I can see it right there on the camera. He did it. So, that's why I hired those professional divers. So, it was kind of cool to mess with the light. It's also kind of cool to see someone diving with a light and a camera on. It makes them look like super professional and like they're actually, out there in the real world, like real divers. But yeah, that was basically everything we got to do today. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Oh yeah, just so I don't miss it, for breakfast we just had egg, sausage, and hash browns. And then for lunch was super good. One of my favorite meals is the grilled chicken, because everything else is like okay, really, but the grilled chicken is actually a good, decent meal. And then they give you green beans and blueberry muffin with that. And then after lunch, we finished our last two groups. And then after we were done with the whole entire day, we cleaned up our dive station and headed back to the classroom for about an hour of debrief. And we just talked about, more diving stuff. I think we brought in two hats, like the band mask and a Kirby Morgan, and we talked about them a little bit, and there's just the little components on them. And oh yeah, I was also standby diver today, in the morning. So for the first group of divers, I got dressed out and basically was a standby for the morning divers. So, but anyway, yeah, we did our debrief, talked about the dive and how it went and how we did and what could we improve and stuff like that. So that was basically how that day went, or today went. Stay tuned for tomorrow. I am diving tomorrow, so I'll let you know how my dive went. I heard there's a lot of mud, like in that particular area where we're diving, where the boat is. You can be up to like a waist high in mud, and it's really hard to move, and your boot might get stuck in the mud and you might lose it. So you just really got to be careful when you're in that mud. So that's one thing I'm going to be looking out for tomorrow. So if y'all want to see that, stay tuned. Leave any comments or questions for me down below if you have any. Yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe to the channel. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great one. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.